expedition Lenpogang of Comes Alpine Club Korea, which successfully made to the summit of Mount Lenpogang. It was his first ever successful summit. In 1988, expedition to Island Peak was successful, but the one to Mount Makalu with a team of 15 Koreans met with a terrifying experience. Later in July-August season, he participated in the French expedition to Mount Choyu from the Tibetan side. During the expedition, he summited the peak twice within a short time frame of 72 hours. It was his major's first successful ascent of 8,000-meter range peak. By then, Da had already mastered the profession of a mountaineering guide. As a freelancer guide, he also served in the expeditions organized by other companies apart from the expeditions of his own company. In 1989, Da was a part of a French expedition called Everest Extreme, which had to be abandoned due to very adverse weather conditions. It was in 1990 he fell deeply in love with a lady named Sabitri Khadka. After 5 months in relationship, the two lovebirds eloped. The couple was soon blessed with a daughter, and Savitri's parents ultimately accepted Da as their son-in-law. He devoted a good amount of his time in doing social works during 1990s. He established the first primary school of Cherem and named it Kailas Primary School. In 1995, he renovated the monastery in Cherem itself. About 2 years later, they were also blessed with a son. It was also at Da's initiation that a truss bridge was built which benefited the people of Cherem and Shibuji. Sometimes later, he also built an alternate route to Mera Peak along the bank of the stream called Hinku. During those days, people of Cherem had to travel for hours just to get some drinking water. To address this, Da set up the pipelines and brought water to Cherem from the nearest water sprout. In 2002, Da was elected as Central Executive Board member of Nepal Mountaineering Association. Angchiring Sherpa, then president of NMA, and Da had a common opinion that Nepal Mountaineering Instructors Association should be made an autonomous body if it was to smoothly run the technical mountaineering trainings.
Da Gombu-ji चाहिँ धेरै अगाडिदेखि नै चिन्छु उहाँलाई यो 1980s को इनतिर चाहिँ मेरो दा गुम्बुसँग निकट सम्बन्ध पनि भयो किनभने कोरियन एक्सपिडिसन टिमहरु थियो र त्यो कोरियन एक्सपिडिसन टिममा मैले दा गुम्बुजीलाई नै तपाई एउटा कुशल अरोही भएको नाताले मेरो यो एक्सपिडिसन चाहिँ तपाईले ह्यान्डल गरिदिनु पर्यो तपाईले चाहिँ त्यो एक्सपिडिसन टिममा चाहिँ सरदर भएर गइदिनु पर्यो भनेर मैले रिक्वेस्ट गरेको थिएँ र मलाई एक्ज्याक्ट साल चाहिँ थाहा भएन तर मलाई 1987-88 जस्तो लागेछ अनि त्यसपछि उहाँ चाहिँ त्यो एक्सपिडिसनमा जानलाई तयारी हुनुभयो र त्यो एक्सपिडिसन सक्सेसफुल पनि भयो त्यसपछि चाहिँ उहाँसँग मेरो धेरै निकटता पनि बढ्यो र अरु टिमहरुसँग पनि उहाँले चाहिँ मेरो रिक्वेस्टमा अरु एक्सपिडिसन टिमहरुमा पनि उहाँ संलग्न भयो जतिखेर म नेपाल पर्वतारोहण संघको अध्यक्षको लागि म तयार भएको थिएँ सन् 2002 सालमा त्यतिखेर मैले उहाँलाई चाहिँ मेरो टिममा केन्द्रीय सदस्यको लागि उठ दिनको लागि मैले उहाँलाई रिक्वेस्ट गरेको थिएँ र उहाँले चाहिँ मेरो रिक्वेस्टलाई स्वीकार्नु पनि भयो र उहाँ चाहिँ त्यो केन्द्रीय सदस्यमा जित्न पनि सफल भयो उहाँ यो इन्टरनेशनल माउन्टेन गाइड एसोसिएसनको अध्यक्ष हुनु चाहिँ हाम्रो लागि एउटा सुखद क्षण थियो किनभने उहाँले चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपालको माउन्टेन गाइड एसोसिएसनलाई इन्टरनेसनल स्तरमा चाहिँ मान्यता दिनुभयो र त्यसमा पनि अब विशेष गरेर इमनसिंह र दागुम्बुजीको चाहिँ ठुलो भूमिका थियो र दागुम्बुजीले चाहिँ यो माउन्टेनियरिङ क्षेत्रमा धेरै कामहरू गर्नुभएछ विशेष गरेर चाहिँ उहाँले समावेशी महिला सगरमाथा अरोनको चाहिँ उहाँले नेतृत्व गर्नुभयो र 10-11 जना चाहिँ नि विभिन्न हाम्रो चाहिँ विभिन्न जात जातिका चाहिँ महिला आरोहीहरूलाई सगरमाथाको टुप्पोमा पुर्याउन चाहिँ उहाँ सफल हुनुभयो उहाँको चाहिँ यो माउन्टेनियरिङ क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ धेरै ठुलो योगदान छ
Da was a founder president of NMIA, Nepal Mountaineering Instructors Association, and also a founder member NNMGA, Nepal National Mountain Guide Association too.
पर्वतारोहण प्रशिक्षक संघले संघको औपचारिक उद्घाटन तथा इको हिमालको संयुक्त सहयोगमा यस संघले प्रकाशन गरेको पर्वतारोहण निर्देशकको पुस्तिकाको विमोचन समारोहमा पाल्नुभएका सबैलाई हार्दिक स्वागत तथा अभिवादन गर्दछु। यस नेपाल पर्वतारोहण प्रशिक्षक संघको स्थापना 2058 सालमा नेपालको पर्वतीय पर्यटनमा सहयोग पुर्याउन र पर्वतारोहीहरूलाई प्रशिक्षण प्रदान गर्न तथा प्रशिक्षकहरूको हितको लागि स्थापना भएको हो।
He headed the Mountaineering Training Committee. He designed different kinds of training programs of mountaineering and also conducted using in-house as well as foreign instructors. Da conducted various kinds of trainings from basic to advanced, rescue training, female outdoor leadership training, etc. In the year 2003, he participated in the advanced training course for instructors in France. In 2005, for the second consecutive time, Da was elected as a Central Executive Board member of NMA. That year, he was also a part of Nepal and China Friendship Expedition team that successfully ascended an unnamed virgin peak near Nepal-China border.
यो जोखिमलाई कसरी न्यूनीकरण गर्ने भन्ने कुरामा बढी मात्रा चाहिँ माउन्टेन सेक्टरको कुरा निस्किन्थ्यो अनि बढी मात्रा एक्टिभ र हेर्नु भएको सेक्टर पनि उहाँको त्यही थियो हाम्रो पर्वतारोहण संघमा पनि जहिले पनि किनभने नयाँ नयाँ कुराहरू ल्याउने उहाँले अघि भनेकै कुरा जस्तै समावेशी महिलाको कुराहरू किन विश्वभरमा चाहिँ हाम्रो पनि दिदीबहिनी चाहिँ शक्ति भएको छन् नि भन्ने जस्तो कुरा पनि त्यही बेलामा निकालेको उहाँले जुन ट्रेनिङको लागि भन्यो त्यो आरोहणभन्दा पहिला ट्रेनिङको लागि इन्ट्रान्स गर्नुपर्ने पहिला चाहिँ अब बढी मात्रा पुरुष मात्रै जाने त्यसलाई चाहिँ महिलाहरूलाई पनि निकट भविष्यको टुरिज्ममा अगाडि बढाउनु पर्छ र हामीले चाहिँ इन्स्ट्रक्टरहरूलाई पनि उहाँले खुब लिडिङ गर्नुहुन्थ्यो इन्स्ट्रक्टरभित्र पनि उहाँले सबै कुरालाई उ गर्ने अनिखेर मिडिया सेक्टरमा पनि उहाँको के थियो भने प्रचार प्रसार गर्ने सेम टाइम उहाँले के गर्दै भने कतिपय पिक्चर चाहिँ हामीले पर्वतारोहण संघ र उहाँले उ गरेको जोइनको उहाँले जुन लिएको तस्बिरहरू पनि हामीले डिस्प्ले गर्नुको लागि अहिले पनि नेपालको यो पर्वत भन्ने पत्रिकामा उहाँले आफैले खिच्नुभएको पिक्चरहरू छ माउन्ट एभरेस्टदेखि लिएर हाई माउन्टेनको उहाँ चाहिँ त्यस्तो कुरामा प्रचार प्रसार गर्नुपर्छ र नयाँ कुरा गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ उहाँको रोल चाहिँ एकदम हाई लेभलले त्यो ग्रुपभित्र पनि उहाँले चाहिँ एकदम यो गर्यो भने यो हुन्छ भनेर डिफिनेसन सायद दिने गर्छु भनेर चुप लाएर भने गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ उहाँको एक्टिभिटी जहिले पनि अन्तिमसम्म पनि रहिरह्यो
विशेष गरी उहाँको दागुमुदायको सेपामा दाइको विषयमा कुरा गर्नुपर्दा उहाँ चाहिँ एकदम नितान्तै एउटा बेग्लै तपाईँको आइडियोलोजी हो मान्छे उहाँको सोचाइ जहिले पनि चाहिँ तपाईँको चाहिँ अरूभन्दा फरक सोचाइ र अरूभन्दा चाहिँ फरक ढङ्गले चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउने र चाहिँ साँच्चै भन्नुपर्दा तपाईँ नि विशेष गरी चाहिँ अब नेपाल चाहिँ एउटा अब हिमालको देश संसारभरिमा धेरै हिमाल छ तर हामीले यो चाहिँ नेपाल हिमाललाई बढी प्रमोट गर्न सकेनौँ बढी तपाईँ चाहिँ अब इन्टरनेसनल क्लाइम्बरहरू चाहिँ ल्याउन सकेनौँ अनि यस्ता त राम्रो चाहिँ दक्ष जनशक्ति र आरोहीहरू चाहिँ हाम्रो क्लाइम्बिङ शेर्पाहरू चाहिँ अलिकति टेक्निकल शेर्पाहरू चाहिँ अलिकति राम्रोसँग चाहिँ यसलाई चाहिँ गर्न सकेनौँ भन्ने हिसाबले चाहिँ उहाँले त चाहिँ नि विशेष गरी चाहिँ अब चाहिँ नेपालको हिमाललाई चाहिँ संसारभरि चिनाउने काममा चाहिँ उहाँको ठुलो योगदान र सँगसँगै तपाईँ नि एउटा चाहिँ टेक्निकल पार्टमा पनि एउटा ट्रेनिङहरूमा विशेष गरी चाहिँ अब हामी चाहिँ अब जति पनि एउटा क्लाइम्बिङ सेक्टरमा चाहिँ जस्तो फ्रान्समा जानुपर्ने स्विसमा जानुपर्ने ट्रेनिङ लिँदै एनसारबाट ट्रेनिङ लिनुपर्ने त्यस्तो चिजहरूबाट चाहिँ तपाईँ होइन सकेसम्म चाहिँ अब नेपाल यति राम्रो चाहिँ के अरे देश छ यति राम्रो तपाईँ हिमाल छ अब हामी चाहिँ सकेसम्म नेपालमै एउटा चाहिँ इन्टरनेसनल एउटा माउन्टेनिङ स्कुल मार्फत चाहिँ अझ तपाईँ चाहिँ नेपाललाई चाहिँ विश्व सामु चिनाउनु भन्ने खालको चाहिँ एउटा नयाँ कन्सेप्ट ल्याउने चाहिँ उहाँको चाहिँ एउटा प्लानहरू पनि हो.
He was honored with innumerous appreciations for his contribution in the field of mountaineering from the organizations within Nepal and abroad. He was an active member of British Mountaineering Council and a freelancer outdoor instructor for Conway Centre, UK. He was also a model for a UK-based company called Sprayway Outdoor Clothing. Nepal Himalayan Adventure Tour and Training Center in Balaju of Kathmandu was established by Da to train the people in rock climbing. Da believed that everyone, irrespective of caste, ethnicity, nationality, or gender, should be encouraged to enter into mountaineering profession. So Da came up with the concept of first inclusive women's Sagarmatha expedition. Its objective was to provide platform for mountaineering to Nepali women and increase their participation. Many women were selected in the beginning, but most of them were reluctant to continue due to socio-economic problem. So there were only 10 women towards the end. They were Susmita Maske, Pujan Acharya, Nimadoma Sherpa, Maya Gurung, Nawang Futi Sherpa, Saili Basnet, Asha Kumari Singh, Usha Bista, Pema Diki Sherpa, and Chunu Shrestha. The 10 women representing 6 different castes went through rigorous fitness, endurance, and stamina training. They left no stone unturned for their physical and mental preparedness. In the morning and evening, they trained themselves, and during the daytime, they raised funds. The mission required a huge fund, and that stood as a big challenge to overcome. The team faced a lot of criticism from those who perceived it as an over-ambitious project. Despite challenges of all sorts, the team stayed united and focused on fundraising. Da was adamant that at all cost he would lead the expedition in 2008 and would also take loan if they fell short of funds. Once the donations collected from various agencies accumulated to a substantial amount, the date of departure to Lukla by air was announced. On 17th April 2008, the team comprising of the Gombu-sherpa as the general leader and Pemba Dorji Sherpa as the climbing leader and 10 women climbers flew from Kathmandu to Lukla. They reached the base camp on 25th April 2008. While moving from base camp to Camp 1, the weather condition had turned out to be extremely adverse and very intimidating. However, the journey from Camp 1 to Camp 2 was a smooth one. Further, the way forward from Camp 2 to Camp 3 was a bit of a challenge because of the steep climb on the Lhotse face. On reaching Camp 4, 2 of the expedition members suffered from snow blindness and lost their vision for a few days. As making to the summit with a large group would be difficult, the group was divided into Team A and Team B. All 4 members of Team B, except Chunu Shrestha, reached on the top of the world on May 23. Finally, Da, Chunu and Pasang also stepped on the peak of Everest on 24th May. the successful team members of FIWSE returned back to Kathmandu on 1st June 2008 after completing the expedition in 45 days. There was a very huge crowd at the airport to receive the heroes of FIWSE.
एभरेस्ट चढ्ने भन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ हामी एउटा साधारण भनौँ न साधारण जीवन बिताइरहेको थियौँ। हामी भित्रै के क्षमता छ र यो क्षमतालाई चाहिँ एउटा के स्वरूप दिन सकिन्छ भन्ने कुरा हामी आफैलाई नै थाहा थिएन एक किसिमले भन्नुपर्दा। र भनौँ न थाहा भए पनि कहाँ अब कसरी गर्ने त एउटा मञ्च नै पाइरहेको थिएनौँ। हाम्रो लिडरहरू हैन गोम्बु सरबाट चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यो एउटा चाहिँ एकदमै ठुलो कन्ट्रिब्युसन हो कि हामीले एउटा मञ्च पायौँ जहाँ चाहिँ हामीले आफ्नो ऊर्जालाई चाहिँ पोख्ने हैन आफूमा पनि भएको क्षमतालाई प्रयोग गर्ने चाहिँ एउटा पायौँ हामीले अवसर। अनि त्यसबाट चाहिँ हामी रोकिएनौँ हैन। एभरेस्ट चढ्यौँ। एभरेस्टमा त अब हामीले नै नसोचेको कसैले नसोचेको त्यत्रो 10 जनामा 10 जना चढ्ने चाहिँ सफलता हासिल गरेपछि चाहिँ अब किन रोकिने त। हामीसित उमेर छ ऊर्जा छ सफलता छ भने अब किन रोकिने अझै अगाडि बढौँ भनेर चाहिँ हामी जो टिममा थियौँ त्यहीबाट चाहिँ अब 7वटा महादेशको सबैभन्दा अग्लो हिमालहरू चढ्ने युरोपको भयो अस्ट्रेलियाको भयो एन्टार्क्टिकाको भयो यो 7वटा महादेशको हिमाल चढ्ने भनेर चाहिँ त्यो आँट हामीमा आयो।
One day when Da was instructing a group of trainees in the Indoor Stone Climbing Academy in Balaju, he felt something awkward in his throat. Upon consulting a doctor, he was advised for biopsy test of his throat. Unfortunately, the report mentioned Da having a thyroid cancer of advanced stage. It was a big shock for the Sherpa couple. As advised by some doctors, Da was taken to Rajiv Gandhi Hospital of New Delhi for treatment. The first dose of chemo was given to Da. After about 14 months, his health started deteriorating. He was taken to New Delhi again. The doctors advised that he was probably in the very last stage of his life. He was then flown back to Kathmandu and admitted to Om Hospital. On 19th December 2011, he fell into a deep slumber, never to wake up again. In February 2019, to commemorate Da's contribution to the nation as a whole, some of his close relatives, well-wishers and acquaintances jointly established a non-profit organization called the Gombu Foundation.